But Barry's in the comments. He says, Jordan Love, not good. And that transitions me perfectly. Thank you, Barry. Thank you so much. That transitions me perfectly into Cheesehead Ozzy mode. And I didn't come up with that, by the way. That was my buddy Grady Edwards who came up with this character, so to speak. So, to restate the score of the other night, the Green Bay Packers lost the game to the mighty Detroit Lions, the Fighting Dan Campbells, the kneecap biters, 34-20. And as Barry's comment said, quite simply, Jordan Love was, how do I put this? Well, he was awful. 23 of 36. Not a terrible completion percentage. 246. It's fine. Touchdown. Christian Watson was wide open the play, but he's 2 picks. One of them was awful in the second half. Passer rating of 69.9, and it gets worse, folks. A QBR is 0 to 100. Now, for those of you who don't know, QBR is not like passer rating. It doesn't just take into account straight up results. Was the pass completed? Was it not? No. It's, well, should it have been completed? Was there like a tip ball? Was the interception your fault? It takes into account your legs. If you run the football, like if you get outside the pocket, it takes all of those things into account. Jordan Love, QBR from 0 to 100. 7. And if I'm a Packers fan, which is Cheesehead Ozzy, I am, very passionate about my Packers. As a Packers fan, I would be mighty concerned about your quarterback. The days of old A-Rod, and certainly the days of Brett Favre, was long gone. First of all, it's not normal to pass off from first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback directly to first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. So God knows it's not going to happen 3 times in a row. But Jordan Love, remember that first game against the Chicago Bears? Played really well. Jordan Love, what was his numbers? I know he threw 3 touchdown passes. Yeah, passer rating was the highest of week 1. Played great. Looked really good against, the worst defense of football. But I gave props to him the next day. I'm like, it looks good. It's the worst defense of football, but it's a start. You can build off of that. Week 2 against the Atlanta Falcons, who have a good defense. Yeah, Jordan Love looked good through 3 quarters. And in the 4th quarter, Green Bay, forget score, they did not get a first down. Matter of fact, there was a play where Jordan Love was under center for a quarterback sneak, and he ran the quarterback sneak. Here's the issue. The ball was not in his hands. And so it cost Green Bay an opportunity to first down. Week 3, a game in which the Packers won, came back from 17 down. Aaron Rodgers style. Remember that game against the Bears back in the day? Week 1, 2018. Aaron gets hurt, leads the Packers to victory still. They're down 17-0 to the Saints. And here comes Jordan Love. Here comes Jordan Love leading the comeback. They win the game on a game when he touched that pass to Romeo Doubs. Here's the thing. Derek Carr got hurt and missed the rest of the afternoon. The Saints do not lose that game if Carr's healthy. And number 2, Love was, he kind of pulled a Tim Tebow. He was terrible. Beyond terrible through 3 quarters of that game. Now, props to him for winning the game. We give him love for that, as we should. It's all about winning the NFL. Look good in the 4th quarter. It's nice to play a team that basically doesn't have an offense without their quarterback, but they won the game. And then last night, on a short week, nonetheless, as the film starts to build and guys get more tape on Jordan Love. Notice, week 1, Jordan Love's awesome. Week 2, really good, just bad in the 4th quarter. Week 3, awful through 3, excellent in the 4th. Last night, terrible throughout. Sure, he had a couple of cute drives in the 3rd quarter that were nice and made the game somewhat interesting and maybe made a couple bettors nervous. But they were never going to win that football game down 27-3. But most quarterbacks aren't. Jordan Love, who helped put his team in that hole, absolutely was not. How many times in that game did you see Jordan Love either get outside the pocket or even stay in the pocket and look kind of gun shy? Kind of hesitate, double pump, tap the ball a little bit. Maybe he's going to throw out of bounds. No, pull it back down. For a guy, and folks say, he's making his first starts of the year. He's also in his 4th year in the National Football League. If you remember Aaron Rodgers' first year as a starter, it was back in, I think it was 08. It was 08. 2008 with the Green Bay Packers. They went 6-10. Were not successful in terms of wins, but you saw some flashes from Aaron Rodgers like, okay, if this kid taps in his full potential, he could be something special. And something special is understatement for Aaron Rodgers, who I've never even been an Aaron guy, but even I can admit, he's obviously one of the 10 best to ever do it, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. For Jordan Love, however, it's quite different. And for Matt LaFleur, it is very different. It's a nice luxury to have when your offensive line is amazing, which I still think Green Bay's offensive line is really good. I'm not going to judge it just based off last night. Even without Bakhtiari, that's a really good offensive line. You got the running game, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. It's great. You can run they didn't run the football effectively last night because that's because they were playing a great Detroit Lions defensive line. So be that as it may, wouldn't we agree the weakness of the Detroit Lions is their secondary? Right? And Love could not expose that aspect of the Lions defense. Interesting, I must say. A lot of his yards, if you notice, a lot of his yards in the second half came when Detroit's kind of playing a prevent defense. Okay, we're not going to give up the big play down the field, which they still did one play. We're not going to give up the big play down the field. We're not going to put ourselves in a position to get burned for Green Bay to get back in the game quickly. Again, sure, they cut it to 10. Come on, even Packers fans, be honest with yourselves. Did you really think you were going to win that football game down 10 at that point? You knew Detroit was going to go back down the field just like they'd done all first half long, running the football right up the gut. Jared Goff making big-time throws. It was never a game. Not at any point. The second, your best opportunity to get to potentially have a shot to win that game is when you got the interception off. It was a bad throw by Jared Goff. It's the only bad throw of the night. Rudy Ford makes a great play on Jordan Love, or I'm sorry, on Jared Goff. You're down. Where were the Packers out on the field? Where were they at? They were at the Detroit 16. And they went exactly nowhere. No yards gained on that drive, settled for a field goal, and it was all downhill after that. So for Green Bay, and by the way, for the record, and this should be stated, the Packers road is not, well, it's not exactly a cakewalk from here. Next week, if we could pull up their schedule. Hold on. My phone's acting kind of slow on me. They've got at the Las Vegas Raiders. They should probably win that game, although that's Devontae Adams' first game against his old team. He'll want to make a point, so you never know. Packers at Broncos. Potentially interesting, Potentially. I mean, for all the criticisms we have of Sean Payton, would we take Sean Payton or Matt LaFleur, who tends to be quite clueless in late game situations? Home against the Vikings. Should probably win that game. Home against the Rams. I don't know about that. At the Steelers. Heck no, they're not winning that game. Home against the Chargers. Look, as bad as Brandon Staley and that Chargers coaching staff is, Justin Herbert is miles better than Jordan Love. He'll find a way to win that game. Chargers aren't awful. They just got a bad coaching staff. At the Lions on Thanksgiving, and in front of the whole country to see, even more so because it's Thanksgiving, the first game. While you're getting your turkey ready, your casserole and all that, they're not winning that game. Home against Mahomes and the Chiefs, we'll start with no. At the Giants, probably win that game. Buccaneers, Carolina, I like Carolina more than most. At Minnesota, probably not. Home against the Bears, they always beat Chicago. So, just notice that, again, though, that every single week Jordan Love looks worse and worse and worse and worse because coordinators have tape on him now. Week 1, I know Chicago's got a bad defense, but in Chicago's defense, they didn't really know what to make of Jordan Love. He has one start in his resume, the game against Kansas City 2 years ago when they put his poor mother up in the nosebleeds, which was messed up, by the way. And then the year after that, when Aaron Rodgers got hurt against the Eagles, he came in, looked fine. Again, Eagles didn't have any tape on him either. It's a whole different ballgame when the other coordinators know what you're going to do. Prepare for you. That's when it changes. So, knock yourself out, Packers fans. Knock yourself out, cheeseheads out there. Your stadium was taken over, after all, by Lions fans. So, did you notice, too, and then we'll move on to the ball view. Did you notice, too, that the old Philadelphia-style Boo Birds were in full flight, full throat in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Again, not quite as bad as it would be in Philadelphia. Again, you drop a pass, they boo you in Philadelphia. You can play awesome through 3.5 quarters. You drop one pass, the fourth, they boo you off the field. But did you notice that first half was over? If Jordan Love made a bad throw or something like that, or Jordan Love made a mistake in the pocket or outside the pocket, notice the boos start to get louder and louder and come with greater regularity. I'm going to stand on what I said before the year. Green Bay, Get ready for a good old-fashioned, well, not good old-fashioned because it's now a 17-game season. That's only been the case for a few years, but get ready for let's put it this way, a good old-fashioned 6-win season. Jordan Love is not the guy. Frankly, neither is Matt LaFleur. Both need to be replaced by season's end. The good news, though, Packers fans, you have a history with great quarterbacks, and there's a slew of them coming out of college next year. You're not going to be bad enough to get Caleb Williams or Drake May, but could you get Penix Jr. from Washington State? Could you maybe sneak in there and get a Riley from Duke? Maybe. But until then, you're unfortunately going to have to deal with Jordan Love. I'm sorry, Packers fans. It's just not working out for you. I'm sorry. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.